Early in the morning, all the chief priests and the elders of the people made their plans about how to have Jesus executed. So they bound him, led him away, and handed him over to Pilate, the governor.
Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?"
"You have said so," Jesus replied. When he was accused by the chief priests and the elders, he gave no answer. Then Pilate asked, "Don't you hear the testimony they bring against you?"
Don't you hear the testimony they are bringing against you?
Don't you hear the testimony they are bringing against you? But Jesus made no reply, not even to a single charge, to the great amazement of the governor.
Then the chief priests and the elders persuaded the crowd to ask for Barabbas and then have Jesus executed.
"Which of the two do you want me to release to you?" asked the governor.
"Barabbas," they answered. "What shall I do then with Jesus, who is called the Messiah?" Pilate asked. They all answered, "Crucify him."
"Crucify him."
"Crucify him."
Crucify him.
"Why? What crime has he committed?" asked Pilate. But they shouted all the louder, "Crucify him!
Crucify him.
Crucify him.
Then he released Barabbas to them, but he had Jesus flogged and handed him over to be crucified.
Then the governor's soldiers took Jesus to the general's tent and gathered the whole company of soldiers around him.
They stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him, and then twisted together a crown of thorns and set it on his head.
They put a staff in his right hand. Then they knelt in front of him and mocked him. "Hail, King of the Jews!"
"Hail, King of the Jews!"
"Hail, King of the Jews," they said. They spit on him and took the staff and struck him on the head again and again.
After they had mocked him, they took off the robe and put his own clothes on him. Then they led him away to crucify him. They came to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull.
When they had crucified him, they divided up his clothes by casting lots. And sitting down, they kept watch over him.
Above his head they placed the written charge against him. "This is Jesus."
"This is Jesus."
"This is Jesus."
King of the Jews.
King of the Jews.
King of the Jews. From noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness came over all the land.
About 3 in the afternoon, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, my God, why have you forsaken me?"
After this, Jesus, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scriptures might be fulfilled, said, "I thirst."
Now a vessel full of sour wine was sitting there, and they filled a sponge with sour wine, put it on hyssop, and put it to his mouth.
So when Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, "It is finished."
It is finished.
It is finished.
It is finished.
And bowing his head, he gave up his spirit. At that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom.
The earth shook, the rocks split, and the tombs broke open. The bodies of many holy people who had died were raised to life.
They came out of the tombs after Jesus' resurrection and went into the holy city and appeared to many people. When the centurion and those with him who were guarding Jesus saw the earthquake and all that had happened, they were terrified and exclaimed, "Surely he was the Son of God."
Surely he was the Son of God.
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 Surely he was the Son of God.